We're here today. We got Buckeye Marine, Maple City Marine, and the Muskoka Boat Gallery. Happy to have you at our event. Thanks for coming out. We got a special guest. It's Josh Palma, all the way from Orlando, Florida. Josh is a Mastercraft team athlete. He's been heavily involved in the engineering and the design and validating these boats on the water. So if you do have questions once he's done speaking, you want to check out, kind of get first-hand experience on what Josh has been doing with the company with these boats, feel free to say hey, get some pictures, hang out. Without further ado, I'll give it over to Josh.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Welcome, guys. Again, really happy to have you. We have some really cool products to show you here tonight. We're going to get started. I'm going to hold off on this for a few minutes. We're going to get started with the boat over here on my right. And it's something we've been working on for the last year or so. And it's going to be sort of an extension of our XT series line, which has been very successful for us. So right now, as you guys know, we've got the 20, 21, 22, and 23. And here is the 2018 XT25. Alright guys, so I'm going to walk you through, as I mentioned while I was introduced, I've been a Mastercraft athlete, primarily wakeboarder for about the past 13 years. And recently I have transitioned into doing some work with our engineering team. We have actually a couple of those guys here as well, some of our naval architects who help design the holes and ensure that all our boats meet the new model charter, which basically just says, hey, this is what we feel this boat needs to do for this customer base, and let's make sure that those needs are met. We've got a successful hull that's going to meet all the performance needs. So a couple of those guys are here. Mario and Mike, they're hiding back here on the platform, but their breadth of knowledge of hull design and why we do what we do on each of these models is really, really impressive. So definitely grab them if you have questions specifically related to some of the nerdy stuff. But what they do really is amazing. A lot of what I sense on the boat, I help now with product validation for all of Wake and Surf for Mastercraft. So a lot of what I feel though is quite subjective, and those guys help objectify it and bring it into the real world. So it's pretty amazing what they're able to do. Now with the XT25, something that we knew was going to be a challenge was maintaining really good wakeboard and surf performance with a 25-foot boat. Just based on some of the naval architecture that these guys have taught me, when you get a boat that size, the CG starts to shift forward quite a bit, the center of gravity. So it becomes a bit more challenging to produce that ideal surf and wakeboard weight, much less a 25-foot wakeboard boat that can actually ski respectively for like an open water ski, recreational skiing. So that was, our model charter said we wanted to be as good as an XT22, 23 in all of those categories, which we found was very challenging once we got to the size. But due to some unique hull design, we were able to hit all of those points of the new model charter. So it's going to have very similar performance to the XT22 and 23, which have been a couple of our volume boats the last few years. And what's even more impressive, and I think they'll have this video up after we're done with the unveil, is we actually skied the XT25 through a course. At 22, 28, I think they even ran 32 off, which is incredible to be able to do that in a 25-foot boat. And 92-gallon fuel tank, so got enough to play all day. And again, to have premier surf wakeboard performance and the ability to ski recreationally with 18 of your closest friends is something that we haven't seen in this industry. So we're really, really excited about this boat. There's some neat seating features as well. We've added some more rear-facing options. It's going to be a little hard for you guys to see that now, but I'll be moving around the boat after we're done here, and I'll kind of show you how some of those work. So on the passenger side, you've got that rear-facing seat. and it works just on a similar ratcheting mechanism. If you guys have been in some of the other XT boats, basically, to release it, you just push it forward, the ratchet releases, and then you can lay it back in that flat position. And then over here, behind the driver's side, you've got what we call the pop-up seat back. And again, it just gives you another rear-facing seat. So it makes this boat that just seems massive on the inside from the start of the sun deck up to the bow, just that much more functional. In addition to that, you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with our convertible flip seat, which could we have someone hop in and just flip that around for us? So then once you have that there, you essentially have 5 rear-facing seats with the passenger flip, the driver's side pop-up seat back, and then 2 on the convertible flip seat. Obviously, you see that same ratcheting mechanism on the pop-up sun deck surf seating. Again, that's been on the XT line this past year. So it should be familiar to you if you've seen those. And again, same ratcheting mechanism as the passenger side pop-up seat over there. So again, one of the things we're most proud of is that at 5,200 pounds, that's how much this boat weighs dry, and 25 feet, it's actually just over 25 feet, you can enjoy skiing recreationally behind it. Wakeboarding is excellent for kids. That's something we found is, and I'll talk about that a little bit more once we get to boat number 2 here, but the ability to bridge the gap between wakeboarding and surfing, meaning that we can wakeboard at slower speeds and still have a clean wake, we're finding that's really, really important. That's why so many people have gravitated towards wake surfing. It's more user-friendly, falls don't hurt quite as much, it's a little more social because you're on the back of the boat. So another big thing we did with this boat, and I'll discuss this again with boat number 2 here, is you can run this boat at 17, 18 miles an hour with no weight and have a clean wake. So if you're pulling your kids for the first time, just trying to get them crossing the wake, all the way up to a more intermediate advanced rider, you've kind of got a wake for everyone. And again, to be able to do that in a 25-foot boat is something that's really a first in the industry. So